The Portuguese Empire in India, Goa, forts, and naval dominance. When Vasco da Gama reached India in 1498, he opened a direct sea route between Europe and Asia. But Portugal wanted more than trade. It wanted control. Control over the profitable spice trade. Control over the sea routes. And control over strategic ports along the Indian Ocean. To achieve this goal, Portugal began building a powerful overseas empire. One of the most important leaders in this expansion was Afonso de Albuquerque. In 1510, he captured Goa, defeating the forces of the Bijapur Sultanate. Goa soon became the capital of Portuguese India. It developed into a major center for trade, administration, and naval operations. Merchant ships from Europe, Africa, Arabia, and Asia arrived at its busy harbor. Spices, textiles, horses, precious stones, and many other goods were bought and sold. To protect their growing empire, the Portuguese built strong forts along India's western coast. These forts were designed to defend ports, safeguard trade, and control important sea routes. Among the most famous were Fort Aguada and Dio Fort. Equipped with powerful cannons and thick stone walls, these coastal fortifications became symbols of Portuguese military strength. The Portuguese also developed one of the strongest navies in the Indian Ocean. Their heavily armed warships escorted merchant vessels and challenged rival fleets. By controlling important maritime routes, Portugal gained enormous influence over regional trade. Ships carrying valuable cargo often had to pass through waters monitored by the Portuguese. Trade brought great wealth to the empire. At the same time, missionaries arrived in Goa, where churches, schools, and other institutions were established, adding new cultural influences to the region. For several decades, Portugal remained the leading European naval power in the Indian Ocean. However, its dominance did not last forever. During the 17th century, the Dutch, the English, and the French entered the race for Asian trade. These powerful rivals challenged Portuguese control of the seas and gradually captured many of its trading opportunities. Although Portuguese influence declined over time, Goa remained under Portuguese rule for centuries. The Portuguese Empire left a lasting impact on India's history through its forts, architecture, maritime trade, and cultural exchanges. What began as a search for spices eventually created one of the world's first global maritime empires. The story of Portuguese India is not just about conquest. It is the story of trade, exploration, naval power, cultural interaction, and the beginning of a new chapter in the history of the Indian Ocean.